Hello everyone, welcome back to Clusterbmilkshake. I am your host along with support puppet Mr. Chicken. Yes. Today we are going to talk about the documentary that I watched on Gabby Petito and Brian, her boyfriend. In this critique, I am going to point out things that I saw in the documentary that you may have not seen. And when I watch this documentary, there's always a victim and a villain. It's very black and white. And people are going to turn a blind eye to the red flags of the victim. Okay? And I want to show you through my words what I saw. And you're going to have an open mind, of course, and be like, Now, this does not justify unaliving, ever, okay? But when I'm talking to you in this video, I want you to pretend that no one died, okay? Just in the beginning. Nobody died, all right? Clear your mind. Now, to me, I believe that Gabby was a dismissive avoidant. I'm not sure what Brian was. I'm thinking he's either a fearful avoidant or anxious preoccupied. But we're going to focus on Gabby here. Number one, red flag. Gabby was in a group of just men. Throughout the documentary, she has one female friend and she surrounds herself with men, okay? When somebody does that, they're either a pick-me or they're somebody who wants to get a lot of male attention. And you will see a lot of women who have a lot of men around. They'll say, I don't like drama of, the females. Yes, that's true. But we also like having male puppies, little golden retrievers around to do our bidding or to give us attention. Okay? So that's the first thing that popped out to me. Second, she jumps from one relationship to the next. In the documentary, there is talks with the boyfriend before Brian, and we're going to get into the things that happened with him, okay? Now, when she was wanting to do her blog, this has been her dream, okay? This has been her YouTube dream. She wants fame, okay? And she not only, it wasn't some new thing that she wanted to do with Brian. Her boyfriend before Brian said that they were gonna do the travel blog. They were gonna do. Now, how many of you tell me that your narcissistic partner tells you all these wonderful things and trips and things that you guys are going to do together, break up with you and do it with the new partner? Okay? Another red flag. She made a friend when she was working to get money. She was working at Taco Bell. She was working over 40 hours a week. Dismissive avoidants are very workaholics too, okay? So that's all they're focused on. She is focused on her goal. Her goal is her blog, her YouTube channel, working to get the van. That's number one. That's number one. Everyone else is number two, okay? She made a friend off of some app or whatever, a female friend. Now, this female friend, she reminds me of Borderline Flavor. Okay, now, Gabby's working all these hours And then she has a boyfriend that she's neglecting. And she gets a friend who she spends all of her free time with. So the boyfriend is pushed aside. And you will see that he's getting anxious, like, you're not spending time with me. Now, all of you know that when you're in a relationship with somebody, especially an avoidant, who first you're together all the time and then they focus on other things and you are pushed aside. It will also be your fault for bringing up, what the fuck is going on? You're going out with your new stranger girlfriend, you're working all the time, and you're not spending any time with me. Now, people on the internet are like, he just wanted to isolate her and take her on this camping thing. No, she wanted to do the camping thing. She did. She wanted to do it with the other boyfriend. She's doing it with this guy. They're just placeholders. That's it. If she broke up with Brian, she would be doing it with some other guy. Okay? Now, new borderline girlfriend is, she's very possessive. It's probably her favorite person. Gabby's her favorite person. You should see the way that she talked about Gabby. She made me feel so wonderful and so good. And, she was the best, but yeah, favorite person shit. And yeah, she was happy that, she got to take her away from boyfriend. So there's already, she's spending time with this girl, like they're the couple, and pushing Brian aside. Yeah, they showed texts of him crying and everything because he's so upset that, they're not spending time together. And then down the road, she has enough money, she gets the van, and they go and do the traveling. Now, if she's so close with borderline flavor, why is she only talking to borderline flavor once every couple weeks? Because she don't care. Camping blog is number one. Okay? She'll use other distractions, people, work, whatever. But number one is Gabby. Everybody else is for just to get her needs met. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't, the documentary wasn't showing that she's fucking evil or anything. Yeah, she's sweet and stuff and whatever. But remember, she's only focusing on her. All right? Now, they're showing video and everything of them together and stuff. You will notice that she does a lot of video only of herself. Yeah, she'll put him in the background or whatever, or sometimes a little thing. She's always in control of what he says and, everything like that. Yes, he does put in some information one time on the video of, okay, well, let's say the thing. She gets annoyed with him all the fucking time. She rolls her eyes at him. That is a huge fucking no-no. That means disgust. Anybody who is in marriage counseling and one of the partners rolls their eyes, that's a dismissive act, as I don't give a flying fuck about your feelings, what you are saying. You are completely dismissed. I watched her do that a couple times in the documentary. She was so fucking annoyed with him. This is what dismissive avoidants feel. And them being in just one van together and they're, together all the time, she's gonna fucking be sick of this shit. Now, we see that they get into an argument because she is so fucking annoyed of being in, just having him around all the fucking time, that she ends up laying hands on him. Now, to defend himself, he's pushing her away or whatever. This is normal. Also, he has to be very careful not to, do the same type of violence back to her, because then he's going to look bad. So he has to have restraint. All you men know this. Okay? Because you're always going to be the bad guy. So she's the one, as they're fighting, she fucking, he's got shit on him from being hit and scratched. She also pulled the wheel of the van while he's driving. So she's out of control. Now, you guys will say reactive abuse. No, when you see all this shit, when you see all of her history and you're seeing what I'm seeing, she's the one that wants to be in control, and he's not allowing this control. If he's talking back, if he's fed up, if he's reacting to her abuse, okay? She even admits when the cops pull them over that she was the perpetrator. She was doing the thing. She's all upset and everything. Now, she's got a lot going on in her head. Number one, she's, they're in close quarters all the time. They are isolated with each other. So they can have their own little trauma bond going on with each other. And she takes full responsibility. He gets put in a motel for domestic violence. And the cop was like, don't talk to each other for 24 hours. Give each other space. And how I always say, when you guys are in a heated thing, it's so much better to give each other space so you can come back and then, have a clear head and talk about what happened and everything like that. So this is what the cop wanted. Now, they didn't listen. They ended up texting that night and getting back together that evening. Even though the cops said, wait until morning, they're like, fuck that. And they go off together. Then, after she is, they're together and, she's annoyed and all this shit, and it's just getting worse. Things don't get better, it gets worse, especially when you don't have any space apart from each other. So at one time, she tells Brian to go camp by himself or whatever, and she's going to take the van and go camp someplace else. So she already wants space from him. She's already on her way out. She has one foot out the door. And what does she do? She texts her ex-boyfriend. Yes. Does she text him, I'm afraid for my life, No. She was doing the monkey branch thing. She wants to make sure she's got backup. Not only was she saying yeah, things aren't working out with me and Brian. And then when you text your ex, that's going to boost up, your ex's ego. Oh, you're the better man. You're the better man. Not only was he texted that time, he was texted again when when Brian and Gabby were together, and she's like, oh, this reminded me of you. So she's already doing the love bomb breadcrumb to ex-boyfriend. So she has a backup plan when she gets rid of Brian. Now, I don't know about any of you people out there, but if you saw those texts of her, that's cheating. She's cheating. How do you feel when you're cheated on? Betrayed. Okay? So, what we find out is that before she gets unalived, that she texts her mom saying that she can make more money on her own instead of having a deadweight boyfriend around. And she puts a laughy emoji. I can make money all by myself, just female doing it without, boyfriend around. you know? She's only thinking about herself. She's thinking about wealth and fame. That's it. Brian is now somebody easily discarded and replaced. All right? So Brian is now feeling abandoned. He's being discarded. He's all fucked up in the head with all this shit, going on. And so he's the, if I can't have you, nobody can type shit. And probably, with the betrayal trauma of being cheated on, of, his emotions being all heightened and everything. He bashed and, okay? He's fucking pissed. He gave up his whole life for this woman. This is no excuse to unalive anyone. But I'm telling you. Now, I just want to throw a couple more things out here. Gabby's parents were divorced when she was 6 months old. Anytime you have a divorce in the family, you're going to have that abandonment feeling. Her parents are not together, have to split time between parents, and then new people are coming into her life. I'm sorry, but it's not more to love. It's, this fucks you up that your parents are, broken up. It's so funny in the documentary, the parents are like, we had a mutual agreement that we're not going to be together anymore. This woman had a 6-month-old baby, and now they're breaking up. I'm sorry. No, it's not okay. Oh, we just made a mutual agreement. No, you guys were fighting and shit, and somebody was doing something, and maybe somebody was cheating, and the wife is being discarded, and whatever. All right? Or the wife is tossing, husband aside. They couldn't fucking work shit out with baby. Another thing that I noticed is that her father is bald. Her stepfather is bald. Brian is bald. Okay? So she's got that already Freudian attachment to Brian because of looks. And then because Brian was also brought up in a toxic household, you see how the mom is enmeshed with her son. And when you enmesh, I was enmeshed with my son. Yeah, I'll dig a hole for you too, bro. And I was like, So the people who he is going to be attracted to, the controlling, narcissistic type of person, and like I said, dismissive avoidants act very narcissistic. He's going to be attracted to that. He's going to be reliving the pain of the push and pull that you get from the parent, the dismissiveness, the you have to be perfect or I will not love you. Okay? Gabby is surviving in relationships by just jumping one-to-one when things get too close. When, remember, she's focusing on herself. To focus on a relationship, you can't just focus on you. You focus on both of you and how to grow together. She didn't want to fucking grow in any relationship. She only cared about the fucking blog, about her YouTube channel. Nobody deserves to die. But know this, when you just discard somebody and jump into a new relationship, if you're with somebody who has severe abandonment issues and childhood trauma, they're going to do the cycle where you make up, break up, make up, break up. And that could have happened if he took off and left her alone. And then, her YouTube only got 500 views, and she could have been like, oh, I can't do this and blah. And she might have gotten back with the ex, realized why she doesn't want to be with the ex again, and then gone back with Brian. And she could have done the back and forth and back and forth. until she met somebody new. You know this. You know the cycle. But, like I said, when emotions get heightened, especially, with somebody who fears abandonment, fears that, she has these big future goals and plans for herself. So I gave up my life for you, and now you're going to be this superstar, and I'm going to be left behind. You're going to have all these great, wonderful things happening for you, and you just threw me away like trash. So he knew he wasn't going to get away with this, and being devastated already. He lost the person that he loved, or thought that he loved. He was trauma bonded to her, and now he does not want to go to jail or whatever, and live out his, jail ain't fun. Prison is not fun. It's not a good time. Especially murdering a woman, he could get unalived in jail, might as well unalive himself. Now, in his letter, he lied about how she was unalived, but he said, maybe, this will bring some peace to her parents that he unalived himself. No, that doesn't bring a parent peace. We want to unalive you. We want to see you suffer. Okay? But anyways, so rewatch the documentary. See all this with fresh eyes and learn a lesson from this, especially the people who easily discard. Because remember, the people who easily discard, we're only thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about we're in danger. Yes, there was a picture that she took of her face fucked up, but there was no text she always talked to mom and dad every day. There were no texts to mom and dad, no text to her best friend. My voice. I'm not saying that Brian didn't lay hands on her. She could have got hurt herself. They could have had a mutual fight, where things got out of hand. And there was just one picture of this happening. I am not making an excuse, but he's already going to be demonized because he unalived her. We don't know what the fuck, okay? All I know is all the red flags that I saw. All right? All right. So I hope that was interesting. Have a great day. Let me know what you think. And you know that if you try to do black and white thinking with me, I'm going to dismiss you. Okay? All right. Have a great day. Namaste.